So today we're plating a few parts for the Alfa 1750. We are going to plate the latch for the boot and the hood latch. These are the straps for the overflow reservoir and yeah, the trunk piece there as well. So what we do is been using the some of the Caswell plating manual there and some of their products here. First, what we do is start with some distilled water. So we actually have our own little distiller, so we're making that. And why do we use distilled water?
No chlorine, no nothing.
No chlorine, no nothing, so it gets super clean. So first I gotta take these, and these are not ready yet to be I've cleaned them a bit and with the little air buzzer and stuff, but these have to be sandblasted to make sure we get all the old plating off, and then they have to be wire wheeled, so I will be doing that next. And then once that's all done, we clean them up, and then they get dipped in this acid 5% solution. Once they go from that and they're dipped, we go into the rinse water, and once they're clean, and we're looking for a little bit of a sheen on it. No.
Just no beating.
No.
That way you know it's clean.
No beating on it. Yeah. Okay. So then it's not adhering to anything, so we know it's really clean. And then we go into our actual plating solution, which gets the little amperage, and what do we got?
Just under 1 amp.
Under 1 amp in there.
Under 1 volt.
And then under 1 volt, and we put a little zinc brightener in there at that point. We just put one little piece in there, and it is starting to do its thing. So how long roughly, or it depends on the size of the part, eh?
It's between 5 to 10 minutes.
5 and 10 minutes. So I will get to work on these and get them up to snuff, and once I get approval from Doogie, I will clean them all up, and we'll show you putting them through the acid, and then we hang them up on some of the wires. And then there's also the option of yellow chromate. I'm not sure we're going to do that on that. We also have another rinse water when it's all done. Yeah, there's some of the yellow chromate there. So you can get that nice gold look. I think I'm going to I like the silverish. So this part would be a little more chromate color. All right, we'll give you a little more as we go through that. And that's how we do some make parts new again. Okay, here's the first piece that we've done in that little plunger for the front hood. And if you look, that's what we want to go from that beautiful nice shine plated, and that's what this will look like. So that was what, about just over 10 minutes or so in the solution there. And yeah, so a little tricky and a little tedious, but to get this all cleaned up, but that's what you got to do. We'll show you them when they're a little bit more done. So into the sandblast cabinet for this piece. I'll show you what that looks like when I get that done. Okay, this is after being completely sandblasted to get rid of any of the old cab. Now we got to clean it. We're just using some citrus cleaner and some water to get it all clean. And then we'll go into the acid bath. So this is after some wire wheeling. You can see I can't get every little spot because of the odd shapes of some of these things. So I have to get in there with some light sandpaper. What kind of sandpaper was it I was using?
320.
320 to get in there to finish that off. There's the latest piece we pulled out. Whoop, into the rinse water. And see, it's coming there. And you see a little, not as quite as nice as the first piece because you can't get in to as much to clean it as well, and you can see the difference that happens. But for our purposes, this will be fine for the trunk. So we'll try and do the best we can. Sanded and wired wheels. So clean next, and then acid dip, rinse, and then into the electroplating. Here's a little before and after of the straps for the expansion tank for the rad. See a bit of improvement there for sure. And a couple of those ones that we got done. This is waiting for cleaning and plate, and I'm just sanding up this one after the sandblast and wire wheel. So we're just finishing up doing the last of the plating. Here's some of the pieces that we've got all cleaned up. Looking pretty snazzy. And the others are sitting in the zinc plating right now. We've got the one little spring. We're going to put that into a little bit of the yellow chromate in a bit and see how that works out. So we were just saying this here is a heater from a fish tank, correct?
Yep.
And this is able to be found, this baby, on Amazon. And what would you call that?
12-volt power supply.
12-volt power supply, and then you can just control the amount of voltage, amps that you're putting in through the rod around to the plate there. So again, the parts have to be very cleaned. You want to remove the old plating. You want to wash them. You want to dip them in some acid for cleaning, last bit of cleaning. They need to be rinsed in fresh distilled water. Then they go into the zinc plating for 8 to 10 minutes. And we're doing the zinc and the yellow together? Is that correct?
You do the zinc first, then stick in the
Yeah.
yellow chromate.
So yes, so zinc first, and then we can do the yellow chromate after. And then again, another fresh rinse. And we're making more distilled water. And that's how we plate little parts for Alphas or anything else. Stay tuned. We'll show you when they're installed. Cheers, or ciao. That's our little spring for the front latch. Does it stay in the zinc chromate very long?
2 minutes, 3 minutes, depends on how dark you want it.
Okay. So not as long as the zinc
No.
plating. Cool. So you can see we just had that in for a little bit, and we've now colored our gold for a little bit. And this we don't want to touch until it dries up, so we set it up out of the way. And once it sets, then it's usable. Hopefully I can get those parts back together. Cheers.